A Doll's House is a play written by Henrik Ibsen, a Norwegian playwright, in 1879. It is a three-act play that follows the story of Nora Hemmer, a housewife who struggles to maintain her marriage and her own identity. The play explores themes of gender roles, social expectations, and the pursuit of self-discovery. When it was first performed, the play caused controversy due to its portrayal of marriage and its critique of societal norms. A Doll's House is considered a classic of modern theatre and has been adapted into numerous film and stage adaptations. Gender roles and women's rights. Henrik Ibsen's play is an iconic work of literature that confronts and questions the traditional gender roles that were deeply ingrained in 19th century society. The play exposes the limitations and constraints placed upon women, which prevented them from asserting their independence and individuality. The female characters in the play face social, cultural, and economic barriers, and are forced to conform to rigid societal expectations. However, as the plot unfolds, we witness their rebellion against the status quo and their struggle to break free from the oppressive patriarchal norms. Ibsen's play offers a critique of the traditional gender roles that have restricted women's rights and their ability to fully participate in society. The play reveals the inner turmoil of women who are torn between their desire for personal autonomy and their duty to conform to societal norms. Through their experiences, the audience is made aware of the social injustice and inequality that women faced during this time period. Moreover, the play highlights the importance of women's rights and their struggle for equality. It underscores the need for women to be treated as individuals and not merely as extensions of their male counterparts. By asserting their independence and individuality, the female characters in the play challenge the patriarchal norms and pave the way for future generations of women to follow. Overall, Ibsen's play is a powerful commentary on gender roles and women's rights. It offers a poignant portrayal of the challenges faced by women in 19th century society and serves as an inspiration for women's liberation movements worldwide. Marriage and relationships. The theme of marriage and relationships is a central one in the play, and it is examined from a variety of angles. One of the key areas of exploration is the dynamics between husbands and wives. The play delves into the power struggles, conflicts, and tensions that can arise in these relationships, and the ways in which gender roles and societal expectations can influence these dynamics. Furthermore, the play also touches upon the impact of social conventions on personal choices. Throughout the narrative, characters are forced to navigate the expectations and pressures placed upon them, communities, and wider society. This can lead to difficult choices and compromises, as individuals are often torn between their own desires and the expectations of those around them. The play also highlights the importance of communication and honesty in relationships, as characters struggle with secrets and misunderstandings that threaten to undermine their marriages. Ultimately, the exploration of these themes serves to shed light on the complexities and challenges of love and relationships, and the ways in which external factors can shape our personal lives. Social criticism. The play is more than just a story about marriage and relationships. It is also a powerful work of social criticism that targets the narrow-mindedness and hypocrisy of middle-class society in Ibsen's time. Throughout the play, Ibsen exposes the flaws and failings of a society that values conformity over individuality and enforces rigid gender norms and class divisions. One of the most significant targets of Ibsen's critique is the hypocrisy of the middle-class society. The play reveals how individuals often project a false image of themselves and their families in order to conform to societal expectations. Ibsen shows how this culture of conformity leads to dishonesty, betrayal, and ultimately, the breakdown of relationships. Another important focus of Ibsen's criticism is the rigid gender norms that limit the opportunities and experiences of women. The play challenges the traditional roles of women as submissive and passive, and portrays them as complex, dynamic characters with their own desires, ambitions, and agency. Through the character of Nora, Ibsen shows how societal expectations of women can trap them in a cycle of dependence and powerlessness, leading to a profound sense of alienation and despair. Finally, the play also critiques the class divisions that shape individuals' lives. Ibsen highlights the vast disparities in wealth and opportunity between the middle class and the working class, and shows how these divisions can create tension and conflict between individuals from different backgrounds. Ultimately, the play serves as a powerful indictment of a society that values conformity and conformity over individuality and freedom, and highlights the need for greater empathy and understanding between individuals from different backgrounds. Freedom and individuality. The theme of freedom and individuality is a prominent one in the play and is explored through the experiences of the central characters. The play raises important questions about the nature of freedom and the conflicts that arise when individuals attempt to break free from societal expectations and norms. Throughout the play, the characters struggle to assert their own identities and to break free from the expectations of those around them. Nora, for example, initially appears to be a conformist, obedient wife. But as the play unfolds, she reveals her true desires and ambitions. She longs for independence and self-discovery, but finds herself trapped in a cycle of dependence and subservience to her husband and society at large. The conflict between her desire for individuality and her obligations to her family and community creates a tension that ultimately leads to her rebellion. Similarly, Torvald, Nora's husband, is also caught in a conflict between his desire for social conformity and his own personal desires. His adherence to societal norms and expectations blinds him to his own faults and ultimately leads to the breakdown of his marriage. He is unable to understand or accept Nora's need for freedom and individuality, and as a result, he becomes a symbol of the narrow-mindedness and hypocrisy of middle-class society. In exploring these conflicts, the play raises important questions about the nature of freedom and the value of individuality. It challenges us to consider the ways in which societal expectations and norms can limit our ability to be true to ourselves, and the importance of breaking free from these constraints in order to live a meaningful and authentic life. Ultimately, the play suggests that true freedom and individuality can only be achieved when individuals are willing to challenge the status quo and assert their own identities, even in the face of opposition and resistance from others.